Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caleb and welcome to this little haul video that I wanted to do to show off everything that I bought for my Blu-ray DVD 4K collection over the course of the past 2 months. Over the course of July and August, I bought 9 new films to add to my collection, and so I'm really excited to show that off. I guess technically it's a bit more than 9, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I added 9 new cases to my collection, I should say. I don't typically go this crazy in such a short span of time, but there was a lot of stuff that I found that I wanted to add, and so I can't wait to show that off. If you're not familiar, Barnes & Noble over the course of July has a 50% off sale for Criterion films, so I had to pick up a few of those during that month, and then in August, they had a 50% off sale for Arrow video, so I got one thing for that as well. So I'll show all of that off and a few other things as well during this video. So hope you enjoy. Please sit back because I'm excited to show off what I got these past 2 months. So let's dive straight into it. And the first film that I picked up back in July is The Royal Tenenbaums. This is a film directed by Wes Anderson, also written by him, and it was released in my birth year, 2001. I'm not going to go through the cast of every movie here, but this one has a really good one, including Gene Hackman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Bill Murray, many other faces that you're probably familiar with. And yeah, this is a really good movie. Not one of my absolute favorites of Wes Anderson. I went through all of his films, or almost all of them, back in, I believe it was May is when I watched through most of his films. And I like this one. Again, not my absolute favorite. My favorite film of his is, I got it right here, the Darjeeling Limited. Not just one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies, but kind of instantly one of my favorite films of all time. Bought it way back in like May, so don't have the opportunity to talk about it in this video, but Royal Tenenbaums is another really, really good one, and I would definitely recommend checking out just any Wes Anderson movie, figuring out which one fits your sensibilities and just checking it out. But yeah, got this one, and I do want to talk about what's included inside, because not only does it include your typical Criterion essay, but it also includes a little map of everything that goes on in the film and sort of the main household that the film takes place in. So yeah, Royal Tenenbaums is the first film that I picked up in July, and definitely well worth it. So yeah, there we go. And for something that I don't normally do very often, in fact, I try to avoid doing this if I can get away with it, it is a blind buy. That is Vampire, directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer. I try to vet all the movies I buy before I watch them, just because I don't want to end up with something that I don't like sitting on my shelf, especially stuff like these Criterion films, which tend to be kind of pricey. Definitely worth it for the price, don't get me wrong, but pricey nonetheless. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on something and end up not enjoying it, so I tend to vet my films before I watch them. But this one, Vampire, I bought just as a blind buy, and I'm glad I did, because I love monster movies. I like vampire movies quite a bit, and this is one of the more important and influential ones for sure. It was released in 1932, only 1 year after the original Bela Lugosi Dracula, I couldn't think of the word for a second, Dracula film, which is one of my favorites, and I've got it right there, right next to Vampire. Also, it's just a really cool set. Slide it open, and first off, you got the digipack itself with a lot of really cool art, plus, of course, can't get out, the essay itself. That's really cool. Set that down. And then you've also got this, which is part of the main reason that I decided to buy it. It is 2 things in one. It is the screenplay of the film, so you've got the whole script for the movie, right here. And then you've also got Carmilla, which is a classic vampire novel from the 18th, 19th century, one of the most influential works of vampire literature out there. So it's really cool that they included it in this set. That's actually something that Criterion tends to do, as far as I'm aware, with several of their films are based off of different pieces of literature, is include the book along with it. So that is really cool. Like it when companies tend to do those really cool bonuses with the release. But yeah, I don't know why my nose is so itchy. But yeah, Vampire, 1932, directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer. Yeah, I haven't watched this movie all the way through yet. I watched most of it and something came up and I couldn't finish it. So I need to go back and finish it before I can give a full review on it. But yes, Vampire, I'm very glad to have it, and definitely not something that I'm regretting yet. The second film I picked up in July is another Wes Anderson movie. It is Fantastic Mr. Fox from 2009. I really enjoyed this movie. This is a beautifully animated stop motion film. I love stop motion films. That's actually, I think they're all private now, but my start on YouTube back when I was like 12 or 13 was making stop motion videos with Legos. So I have a love for stop motion films, and this is, in my opinion, one of the most beautifully animated ones. It's based off a Roald Dahl book of the same name, and it's just really good. It's also a beautiful case. There you go, the front and the back, and the digipack inside with just more beautiful artwork, and the disc is quite pretty. I don't know if you can see it all that well, but quite pretty as well. Wonderful film, wonderfully animated, and yeah, this is actually a great family film. Most of Wes Anderson's movies aren't really family films. This one is. This one I would recommend showing to your kids, especially if they've had to read this book. Really good one to watch afterwards. I actually haven't read that book since I was in like 4th grade, so I'd be curious to go back and reread it and see how similar it is to this movie, because I like this one quite a bit. So yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox by Wes Anderson, really good one. Definitely recommend it. I also want to mention something that, or clarify something that I've said before. For anyone who's not aware, Criterion is not a studio. They don't make the movies that they release. They just acquire the rights to pre-existing films and release them as really cool box sets. Almost, or not box sets, but really cool releases. Almost always their movies come with essays, commentaries, a ton of special features, and beautiful cases such as this, or where's my Godzilla right here. Just really cool releases for these films. And part of the reason I wanted to clarify that is I don't want people to think that they're a studio. Again, they don't make the movies, they just give them these really awesome releases. And they've done that for pretty much every type of movie. You've got everything from the Wes Anderson movies to these vampire. You've got old black and white films, you've got silent films, you've got modern movies. I know that Martin Scorsese's The Irishman got a release, as did Pixar's WALL-E even got a release, which makes me hope that maybe some of the more sophisticated like superhero movies like Logan or the Dark Knight trilogy, or maybe even the original Superman, might eventually get releases in the collection as well. But yeah, I didn't want to get people thinking that they were a studio that made these movies. They just give them these really cool releases. But yeah, back to the update. And for my last pickup of July in the Criterion 50% off sale is actually a film that I didn't buy myself. My wife actually bought it for me, and that is Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal. I'm not going to talk long about this movie because, frankly, I don't feel overly qualified to do so. My cat is messing with my tripod, so give me just a second. All right, cat crisis averted. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too long about this movie because, frankly, this is one I don't feel overly qualified to talk about. I've only seen it one time, and it is really, really good, but it is also super deep and weighty, and there's a lot to dissect in this movie. This is considered one of the most important movies of all time, and I know that I've got many, many more viewings to go before I fully understand everything going on in this film. It's one studied in film classes. There have been books and essays and basically everything written about it. It is super important. So I definitely can't speak super deep volumes to it, but I can say that I enjoyed it on my first viewing and can't wait to watch more of it, especially going through a lot of these special features like the commentary and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot to dissect. Ingmar Bergman is actually a Swedish director that I want to look more into. I've only seen 2 of his films, that being this, The Seventh Seal, and Wild Strawberries, which I do not own yet, but liked enough that I probably will purchase that sooner rather than later. But yeah, Seventh Seal, written and directed by Ingmar Bergman. Yeah, thank you to my wife for getting this for me because it's really cool. And for the first film that I picked up in August, you've got Rushmore, Wes Anderson's second film, released in 1998. I picked this up at the beginning of this month, and I did it partially because it was on sale for 30% off, but also because I seriously have got to watch this movie again. The first time I watched it was back when I was doing my watch through of all of Anderson's movies, and I kept dozing off throughout it. Not because it was bad, but because I made a mistake watching it first thing in the morning, really early. I was too tired and I kept dozing off. So I've got to watch it again because I have not rewatched it. And I know that's a movie that I'm gonna like a lot more when I do rewatch it, because I liked it quite a bit the first time, but wasn't loving it just because I kept missing things. Gotta watch it again because I know I'm gonna like it quite a bit more. This movie is about a kid named Max Fisher, and it's just his life attending this private school called Rushmore Academy, and everything that happens to him, mostly through the problems that he himself creates. It stars Jason Schwartzman as the main character, and Bill Murray in another leading role, and they are both actors who would later go on to be staples of Wes Anderson's filmography. So it's really cool to see them get started in this film. So you open it up, and there you've got the disc and the essay, and along with that, you've got a map. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing because it's pretty big, but it is a map of all the locations in the movie, which I think is really cool for Criterion to include. I love it when these companies go above and beyond in that. I think the Royal Tenenbaums has one as well. But yeah, Rushmore is my first film of August, and my last Wes Anderson movie that you'll see in this haul. So yeah, moving on to the next one. And up next is the only DVD you will see in this video. It is the Jodie Whittaker era of Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I, as you can see, collect it quite a bit, and I just had to add the newest seasons into my collection. I've been holding off on buying some stuff from this era because I wanted to wait till this came out. This came out, no glare, and unfortunately, one major complaint I have with this is I actually don't like this era all that much. I really dislike the past couple of seasons of Doctor Who almost entirely for the writing. I think Chris Chibnall was a terrible writer, wrote some of the worst stuff in modern Doctor Who, borderlining offensively bad in my opinion in some places. So I thought this more out of necessity as a collector and less of I love this and I want it in my collection. But yeah, it's a DVD, comes with 0 special features. Mark that, 0 special features. It is just the episodes themselves, which I guess is fine. I probably won't go out of my way to watch any bonus features on this anyway, but it is disappointing that none of the other better seasons get special features either. One complaint that I do have actually has nothing to do with this release itself and more Barnes & Noble, which you could probably tell that I bought at Barnes & Noble because Barnes & Noble decides to put stickers all over their slipcovers. You got your 30% off sticker, so you know that I got discounted, and the price sticker right there. It's really frustrating. I wish they wouldn't do that, or I wish there was some way they could maybe wrap around. I know that already comes with the inside wrapped up, but I wish that they could wrap the front somehow as well, because now I've got these really ugly stickers all over my case, all over my slipcover. This isn't the last time you'll hear me complain about that, by the way, in this video, because there's something else later on that has the same issue. But yeah, not the biggest fan of this period of Doctor Who. Also, side note, I should preface that I actually do like the casting of Jodie Whittaker. I think that given better material, she would have been a really good Doctor. I just don't like the material she was given at all. I think it really let her down. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. Hopefully Russell T Davies returning to the show can bring us some better content, because I really want some good Doctor Who. I'm really dying for it, actually. But yeah, series 11, 12, and 13, I think all in one case. So that's pretty cool, I guess, if you like that stuff. I don't, but you know, it's cool with that. Anyway, next one. So in July, Criterion has their 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble, and this August, Arrow Video actually decided to have a 50% off sale through Barnes & Noble. I don't know if that's a regular thing or if maybe this is their first time doing it. This is actually my first year collecting Blu-rays and DVDs like this, so I don't know if they've done it before, but I decided to pick up something this month from Arrow, and I picked up Daimogen. In fact, the Daimogen Trilogy box set by Arrow. Super excited to have this, because while I know the second two films in this trilogy aren't super highly regarded, I know that Daimogen, the first one, is considered a masterpiece of Japanese filmmaking, particularly of the kaiju genre and the samurai genre. That's part of why I picked it up, is because I love kaiju movies, I love giant monster movies, but I'm not super big into the samurai scene, which is something that I want to change, because I've never really watched samurai movies, but I really want to get into them, especially Akira Kurosawa, who I still need to get into. Spoiler alert, I don't have any of him in my collection quite yet, but I wanted to get this because while I am not big into samurai so far, I think watching a movie that's kind of a combination between samurai films and a genre that I already quite enjoy, in this case kaiju, is something that I want to do. So I haven't had a chance to watch any of these movies yet, but I can't wait to, because I know that I'm probably going to love it. So yeah, Daimogen Trilogy by Arrow Video. I should show off all these cases. First up, you've got Daimogen, Return of Daimogen, and Wrath of Daimogen. I might do a review on these at some point, but definitely gonna watch the first movie here soon, and tons of special features, which is just my favorite thing with these releases, are the special features. But yeah, Daimogen Trilogy from Arrow Video, got in August. And for my next pickup of the month of August, this is another film that my wife picked up for me. This time she actually surprised me with it. It is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Again, just stupid Barnes & Noble plastering stickers all over this thing. But other than that, this is a wonderful movie, recently released on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. I did not like this movie the first time I saw it. My wife and I went opening weekend to go see it, and I actually didn't love it on that first viewing. I thought it was just fine at best. I went a couple weeks later with my brother and loved it. My opinions completely changed, and I watched it a third time on Disney Plus as soon as it dropped on there, and it is wonderful. This is a great film, an amazing end to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and James Gunn's best work at Marvel. I think I need to watch all three of the Guardians films in succession with each other, but I think this might be my favorite of them. Maybe it's one, I don't know. I love that trilogy, by the way. I think all three movies are great, but I really like this one. Why did my light go off? Sorry about that. My light went off. I can't remember what I was saying. I love this trilogy. I think it's probably the best thing at Marvel. And James Gunn's work is great. Can't wait to see what he does over at DC with his Superman film and all that stuff. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, great film. Really wish that the holidays special was included on this. Kind of disappointed that it's not. I really expected that it would be, especially since even though it's not essential viewing for this film, it does add some stuff to it. So if you haven't watched that, I would definitely recommend checking it out on Disney+. But yes, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, thank you to my wife for picking this up for me. Cannot wait to watch it on Blu-ray and watch it alongside the other films in this series. So yeah, moving on to my last pickup for this video. And for my last pickup of this month, it's one that I'm going to be fairly quick on because just this past week I did an unboxing video on this exact movie. It is the 30th anniversary edition of Jurassic Park. It's on 4K and Blu-ray. This is a wonderful set. If you want to see everything that's included, go check out that video that I did. I will try to remember to include the link in the description to that one, but this is a wonderful set. It's on 4K, Blu-ray, digital download, all in the set, and comes with a lot of really cool special features and just collector's items, including an art book and stuff like that. I'm not going to talk too much else about it because, again, I did a whole other video on it, but this is just really cool. And as I've said before, this is my favorite movie of all time, so I'm super excited to have this. Picked it up on Amazon for only $30. And I cannot recommend it enough. If you love this movie and do not own a good copy of it or just want to add this to your collection, definitely worth it. Definitely worth checking out. So yeah, Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary Edition, Limited Edition, 4K. There you go. That is all 9 films and 1 TV show that I picked up this month on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. Added quite a bit to my collection these past couple of months, and I'm really glad to do so. I've been collecting physical films and television for a couple of years now, but these past couple of months I've bought more than I ever have in a short period of time. Really hope that doesn't mean that I'm going to be going crazy for the next while, because of course this can get expensive, but it is also something that I really enjoy and it's just a really fun hobby. So definitely a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, maybe one day once I get a much bigger collection, obviously this isn't huge right now, but once I expand it further, I'll do a full collection video. But otherwise, yeah, stay tuned. I do plan on doing a lot more movie, TV show related content, especially around collecting and physical media. So please be sure to stick around for that. And hopefully soon I'll come back with some really cool stuff. But yeah, thank you all for watching.